Okay, one second.
I want to know what it is now.
We're all nosy as hell. Is it really a PGP episode if we're not nosy? Are we really besties if we're not nosy? Is really the real
She
question.
muted herself.
Knew it!
Another one?
This, this is Churro.
Oh my
She's
god!
so
Boy or
into
girl?
Girl, she's like purring like
Aw.
crazy.
She's so tiny.
Pause for the purrs.
Oh yeah. Let's see. I don't know if you can hear her. It's
Oh,
she's
I heard
really
her for
loud.
a hot sec.
That's
She's
so cute. She's
about
so
11
precious.
weeks old.
She's
The
so
cats
little.
are not happy,
Mm.
but she is like our little baby.
Oh,
She's so
She's
cute.
so tiny.
She is. She's been hanging out in our bathroom.
She is small bean.
She is.
I remember when
Getting the
Umbi was
other
like
cats
that.
used to the idea.
So fun, exciting.
We love new additions to the PGP pets.
Hello. Welcome back and happy 2026 besties. We are back again with me, Melissa, Chelsea, Amy, and Rachel, and we're going to be talking about our 2025 in books. We'll be talking about everything from our favorite books from the PGB book club to some of our personal favorites outside of said PGB book club. So grab your favorite snack, drink, and maybe your favorite notebook and pen so you can add many of the mentioned books to your never-ending TBR. So let's get started.
Now, before we talk books, I feel like we need to take a quick second for a little bit of like a winter break update from the paddocks, because there is a little bit of news that has happened since the season has wrapped. Zhou Guanyu has left the Ferrari universe, if you will. Ferrari Driver Academy, he's no longer their test and reserve driver. The rumors are that this is going to allow Zhou to move over to Cadillac, which I personally find a bit odd because they brought on Colton Herta to be their test driver, and I thought he was supposed to be their test and reserve driver. When I was checking all of this, he is just their test driver and he's racing for them in Formula 2. So maybe we will actually see Zhou as their reserve driver. I don't know. This all happened a little bit before we started recording earlier in the week, but I just feel like it's a little crazy because it's winter break. We don't normally see this kind of like shifts happening.
Except for last year when Lewis decided to mess with the whole grid. No, but I do hope we continue seeing Joe on the paddock. He just seems like an all-around good guy. But I remember when I saw the announcement from like Ferrari and I was just like, wait, hold on. So I like go to like Joe's like page and I don't see any update where he's going to next.
Not yet.
So we'll see what happens.
Get our fashion prints back in the paddock, please.
Exactly. We
Please.
need Lewis. We need someone backing up Lewis every single time.
I missed Joe, so I'm all down for him joining something, doing something.
Yeah.
And at least the other kid still has a F2 position, so.
Yeah.
But as we said, this is our PGP book club review, so we're gonna steer away from Formula One, except the romance, and just talk about our year in book club. Now, before we go into everything, I just want to take a moment real quick and thank Madge. She was the author of Slipstream. If you guys were with us when we started book club, she was our first PGP book club ever. From there, it was really just finding them online and like DMing them, you know? So I'm really happy we did that. I'm happy that I was like, hey, we have a book club. Please pay attention to us. We're all girls and we love to read. And it went
We love
somewhere.
F1.
So technically, that's marketing, guys. Putting on my resume. We did that. And I'm really happy.
We did. No, I love how big of a turnout we got from like small to like the big authors like willing to provide us with like arcs of their books and even just like general copies. Shout out Simone for the copy of her first one. But I just had so much fun reading different types of F1 romances, especially since I usually don't go for sports romances in general. So it just like opened up a whole new can of worms for me that big fan.
Same. I have the best time reading these books. So many of them kind of were what kept me busy on the like dozen or so flights that I took this year. I literally don't know how I would have gotten through those without some of these books. And honestly, just like the voice notes going back and forth that were sent in the group chat, some of those had me dying. The voice notes and just the reactions in general were incredible. And thank you, Chels, for sending all of those DMs and all of that.
She's a real
I'm
MVP.
obsessed, truly.
Honestly, like hands down, sending those DMs was definitely the best thing that I think we've ever done. I also have to, if we're giving people shout outs, I feel like we need to give Bridget Elrose a shout out. Bestie, if you're listening, thank you for being our first author interview and continuing to be one of our biggest hype girls. I honestly have never had a chance to be in a book club in my real like personal life. So PGP book club is something that I didn't know I needed and I love. It's been fun because I like sports romances, but I don't normally go towards F1 romances. Like Rachel mentioned, the voice notes, the text messages in the group chats, I really wish y'all could see our group chats sometimes, because the amount of times I have sent a message being like, hey, so I found this book, but it might be spicier than we need, or I think it might be not necessarily everyone's cup of tea. It's like finding the books is half the fun, at least in my perspective. But the amount of voice notes we have all sent each other while reading these books, screaming, cursing, take your freaking pick. We have so many options of all of us just freaking out or waiting for somebody else to get to the same part so that you have somebody else to freak out with. I mean, we are internet besties, so it's kind of fun to do an internet bestie book club. It's definitely chaos, though.
90% sure at one point I just sent a voice note of me just laughing maniacally because I think Mel and Chels got to a specific part of, I want to say it was faster, and they were freaking out, and I just sent a voice note of me just laughing.
I like so many voice notes screaming.
I like listening. I never really send voice notes, but I love listening.
Okay. I love listening to them too.
I'm such a voice note person. I can't help it. They're like mini podcast
I'm
episodes.
like a silent reader. I'm like, you'll see my reactions in my eyes. I'm just like, okay. And I keep reading. Because I'm always reading around my family and stuff. So I'm like,
You're like, I can't react.
I can't. So I'm always just like, amazing.
Gotta go.
Especially with that. That was one of them.
If you read fan fiction in like the 2010s,
you learned
in public, you have no reactions.
Yeah, you're just like,
You're like, moving on.
Yeah.
I
feel like I react
really got you there.
more.
Wattpad really got you there. So
whether
the OG.
whatever
restrictions
platform
have to have an
you
account.
liked your fanfic, like it taught you how to read with a straight face. I feel like, I don't know if this is just me, but girlies, please weigh in on this. I feel like I react more when I'm in my own space and I'm by myself. Like, I have bigger reactions when I'm
100%.
just reading on my own.
Yeah, I think that's anyone. I feel like when you're in public, you're just like, you do not need to know what I'm reading.
No.
God, no.
See, I read like around Chris sometimes, and he's just really, you guys know how he is. He's really annoyed, and so like he'll start like he thinks everything I read is smut. So I mean, he is kind of right. But like the stuff that he says, I'm just like, can you not? Like, it's not even happening, right?
Okay, no. One time he did get me really good. I got this book. We'll talk about it. Like, okay, look, I'm reading a couple things right now. Okay. We'll talk about what we're reading. I'm reading a couple things right now, and I'm reading the Rose Hill series by Elsie Silver. There's some smut, okay?
My
But like, it's not all smut. But he did call me out while I was reading a smut chapter, and I kind of just looked at him because I wasn't even reacting. So I was like, how do you know? But
because you weren't reacting.
Yeah.
But anyways, that one's really good. I really am into the cowboys right now. That era of romance cowboys, enjoying it. I'm also halfway through Alchemist, which, speaking of fan fiction, here it is, published now.
If you know, you
guys
know.
read Manaclad, you know what I'm talking. Manaclad. I probably never pronounced
Manacled.
it right.
Manacled.
Yeah.
Okay, I read that in
900
high school.
something
I read that when
pages
it
of
came
chaos.
out. No, I remember when that came out. I read it. I was in high school. And I even got in trouble in my fourth period English class because like I was reading it on my phone. Like I was allowed to read on my phone because he knew I was like always a reader, so he didn't ever stop me. But I
Tight.
remember that time he saw me swiping instead of like how you do like a book pass, and he was
Mm-hmm.
like, "What are you reading, Miss Fernandez?" And I was just like,
Nothing.
"Unpublished work," and he was just like, he's like, "Unpublished work." I was like, "Yeah, a friend of mine is trying to write a book. I'm like editing it," and he was like, "Oh." Okay, and that's how I got away with reading fan fiction. So shout out to him.
Nice.
Don't remember your name, but you were really
I feel
funny.
like
Chels.
But
reading Manacled in high school is the equivalent of reading Dark, the Harry
yeah,
Styles fanfiction.
it's very. I
So
never got into Harry Styles. I wasn't a Harry Styles fan, but it was just like it was so good when I was in high school. And honestly, reading it now, she did make a lot of changes,
Uh-huh.
which makes sense. It has to be published, and it's like a heavy book. This book is more than 1,000 pages,
Yeah.
it's a
so
good book to keep as a
definitely,
weapon next to your bed.
yo, put
Yep.
this in
Especially
this
if
in a
you get
bag and
Hardcover.
just
hardcover.
toss it. Put it in a bag. Put it in your little Barnes and
You're
Noble
knocking
bag.
someone
You
out.
just got your new bag for the year,
Chuck it.
and then
Mm-hmm.
smack someone.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of that, I went to Barnes and Noble and I got the third book for the Emily Wilde series. Love
That's
the
on my
Emily Wilde series.
TBR.
It is so good. I read it for my other book club that I'm in, and you guys would really love it. Anyone listening, it is amazing world building. And like, yes, it's romantasy, I guess, but like to me it's just so much more based in like this fantasy and magic kind of like realm that I'm so much more entertained with the storyline. Actually, I think if you read it for romance, you might be disappointed because it's
Okay.
much more of a journey fantasy like reader book. There's just
But those are
also
fun.
a fae who's kind of hot.
Love it.
Those are fun though.
I
Now,
love
for
me anything with fairies in it makes my heart happy.
Yeah,
anything
exactly.
fantasy,
But let me tell you something. When you read it, you have to read it with patience because the world building is not very quick, but
Okay.
it's so well written that's kind of like you're reading one of those like childhood cartoon stories, you know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
It's really
Mm-hmm.
beautiful, so I really recommend it.
I like that. I have to check it. I always see those. I'm always so curious, but we'll see. It depends on my mood. So yeah, no, I actually just finished an arc read a few hours ago before I went to go see the new Avatar movie. 10 out of 10 would recommend watching that movie. It's my second time watching it. But yeah, anyways, I can talk about that movie a different day. But I did finish reading We Who Have No Gods by Liza or Lisa Anderson. It's labeled as like a dark academia romantasy book, but I think it's more like a fantasy dark academia. But badass female main character. Of course, your typical like MMC, like mysterious, gloomy gray, the ones that we all love. But I found this book off NetGalley and really enjoyed it. Some parts just did feel a little slow, but that's just me. But the world building was so much fun because like the way like she had structured it and everything just made a lot of sense. But I do have another arc read that I'm gonna be starting probably tonight, The Assassin's Revenge by Sarah Bittner. Um, and then I just plan on finishing the last two Harry Potter books and then finally reading Alchemized because I need to read that one because everyone keeps bothering me. I never read Manacled when it was like on wherever like
Do you?
platform.
I have the files if you need it.
Same.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that do
I
too.
have the
So
files if you need
Like, I
it.
have
It's on
it.
Google Drive. Very
yeah,
easy
so
to access. Got
we'll
you.
we'll see. Yeah, so what
Chelsea
I,
are
I'm
twins.
I might hit you guys up. We'll see. But I don't know. I have like a bunch of books I need to like finish. Like I need to finish like the last two, like the Hunger Games, the Songs of Songbird and
Songbirds and Snakes.
yeah. Thank you. I always forget that one. And then
It's a long
Wait, you
Haymitch's
haven't read
Story.
them?
I haven't read them yet.
I
No,
read them because of you.
I know, and I need to. Don't get at me. Don't get at me. It honestly always just depends on my mood because I
Done.
stopped reading after
Done.
Listen,
Mockingbird.
it's hard to read those right now when we're practically living the prequels,
No,
okay?
literally.
Like, let's be realistic.
And after reading like the third one, I was like, I need a break, and that break just lasted way too long. But I mean, you guys are probably the same way as me. I'm a big mood reader, so like whatever like is my mood that day when I'm picking up my next read, it's like what I go with. But I do want to say, if you're looking to do some arcs besides looking into NetGalley, because that one can be hit or miss, definitely check out Threads because authors are constantly posting asking for like arc readers, and they give like a little like quick synopsis of like what their book is about, and then they have like a Google Doc form to fill out. And so far, I've had some luck getting those books. So
You can also find some ARC groups on Facebook. I'm a part of at least one right now, but I'm really a big fan of the book talk threads, like
Threads has been
channel.
like, yeah,
It's really great to find arcs if you're looking for it.
yeah.
I don't know what it is for me, but I've been in the worst reading slump ever. I mean, I think the last book I read was Faster. Like the last full book I read was Faster, which is a wild one to have like as your last book that you've read. I'm currently finishing up Facing Off by I'm so sorry if I mispronounce this, Suk Kaur, which is really good, but I'm not even like I think I'm like a third of the way through, and I've been working on that since
Mm-hmm.
I got it as an art, and I feel
think
so
I
bad.
made you sign up for
you
it.
You did, and I got it, and I started reading it, and then I just like my reading mood just dipped, and I haven't read anything
girl, you're
since.
good.
It be like that.
And
It happens to the best of us.
I think I also just got so busy with like Amy, you came to visit, then my mom was here, and then I had my company
Holidays.
holiday party, and then my
Yeah.
goddaughter and my friend were here, and then I went home for Christmas, and like James
Just a
showed up
lot.
and surprised me, and like that
Aw.
was a whole thing. And so it is so good. Like the part that I've read of Facing Off is so good, and I need to finish it. And then I started The Games Gods Play by Abigail Owen back in October. I'm gonna have to restart that one because I have not picked it up since. And then the second book for that one came out recently, which I bought both of them in hardcover because they have really pretty sprayed edges.
I've seen them. They're nice.
They're really nice. I also am hopping on the bandwagon for Heated Rivalry, and I want to read the Game Changer series, but they're sold out everywhere right now, and the wait on Libby is like astronomical. So I have a lot of books to read until I can make it to those. Yeah, my reading challenge this year is 52 books, at least one a week. Hopefully I can do that. Maybe
That's
I'll do
doable.
more. Fingers
Yeah.
crossed.
I set my goal last year. I originally started with a goal of 25 books for 2025 and then increased it to 50, and then I blew way freaking past that.
But you almost read like 200.
I read 109 books.
Oh my god.
Every time I log into Goodreads, it's like Amy's like 100 and something percent. I'm like, goddamn.
Not all of those books were like crazy long books. There's also some things that are in there that were just like audiobook only, and they were like a 4-hour audiobook, but they still technically count because Goodreads finally got their ish together so I can count my audiobooks.
Yeah.
But I am currently working my way through yet another romantasy, though I don't know if I'd say I'm currently truly like in my romantasy era right now, because I've also been reading a lot of like contemporary romances prior to this. My current read is Direbound. It's the first book in the Wolves of Ruin series by Sable Sorensen. Think Fourth Wing crossed with like a few dashes of Hunger Games, but instead of dragons, it's direwolves, hence Direbound. All in all, I am really liking it so far, but I kind of right now I'm just in my like vibes only era. Like if it calls to me, I'm reading it. If it doesn't, I'm not reading it right now. Do I have any clue what my next read is going to be when I finish this? Not a single clue in hell. We'll figure it out.
I will say, like, romantasy era-wise, it's just that's what everyone's writing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Like,
not upset because I love it.
I
I'm
love
not
it.
upset,
But I
like,
do
it's
like the
definitely why
switch.
I'm in the era.
Yeah.
around
But I do
I-
like to switch every once in a while.
I
I would
find
love
my
some more
issue.
historical romances.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I
That
read
is-
one recently, but it was a throuple, which threw me off because I did not know it was a throuple.
I need-
Oh,
I
yes.
was literally
Correct.
halfway through, and I thought it was like a choose, and it was a why choose, and I was like, oh, remember
Give
I
me the
told
book
you about
name
Melissa?
later.
Yeah, you did tell us about it.
But
Yeah.
anyways,
Remind
I
me
read
later,
both
'cause
books. It was really
I'm-
good.
I'm not gonna remember.
I'll send it later. But I
Thank
definitely
you.
think like romantasy is just it's the era right now.
Yeah. My issue is that I find it really hard to do multiple romantasy books that are
The
all
confusion?
incomplete series because
Oh.
there's too much to keep track in my brain.
Yeah.
So I love romantasy, but I have to do, for the most part, I try to do things that are already complete so I can just do the whole series with maybe like a contemporary mixed in to give me a bit of a break. But like, I need to stay in one universe until I'm done because
That makes sense.
Yeah.
it's too much for me to keep track because I'm like, your plots are all kind of similar. Your characters just have different funky names. And
Heavy on the
I-
funky names.
I can't keep track. Oh my god, the male main character in the book I'm reading, his name literally feels like it is straight out of Game of Thrones.
Sometimes
Like,
the
his
names
name
throw
is-
me off.
Sometimes the names are
I just make them up.
too quirky.
I'll do that.
If they're a little too
Yeah, that's
out there,
too
I
quirky.
definitely have been known to like insert name here kind of situation.
Like,
But
isn't there a book where the character's like Kingfish or some?
Kingfisher, Quicksilver.
Quicksilver.
But I can't say that without spoiling things for people. Nope, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
I
'cause
had that one like on my like TBR for
It's
this
on my
year. So.
TBR.
Can't take it serious.
we'll get to that.
Okay, well,
have
look.
thoughts,
Speaking
people.
of books,
Okay.
speaking of books, come to my round table here, okay? Let's talk about our book club selections. Welcome to my round table. These are going to be our hits or misses. And
We have
I just-
opinions.
I just want to
They
start
know
with
that.
hits. I want to start on a positive note. So here's my hit for our book club season this year. I really think the hit was Simone.
Absolutely,
Simone's
hands
series was a
down.
hit. It was my favorite out of all of them. We read amazing books. I'm not knocking any author. Everything that we read was genuinely very entertaining.
Yeah.
But I can't really put my finger on it. Just the way that she wrote her story, how it flowed, it ended up kind of making like a top 3 for me for out of everything we read. However, if I were to talk personally about what I like, I would and talk about a miss. I tried Colleen Hoover, you guys. What are you guys on? Okay, personally, I cannot get into it for the life of me. You know, you can judge me later for it. I'm not gonna lie, I did like that movie that just came out with that McKenna.
Oh,
No.
oh,
The Blake Lively
Oh.
one?
No, not Blake Lively, McKenna Grace.
oh,
have no idea who she
I
is.
forgot that was a
Um,
Colleen book.
No,
Mean
yeah, that's a
for
Colleen
You?
book, which I didn't know was a Colleen book until after I
Is it
finished
Mean
the movie, and I was
for
like,
You?
that's why it was so weird sometimes. But I love McKenna
Wow.
Grace, so I wanted to watch it. But like I tried.
No, that's
I
not
really
what
did
I'm thinking
try.
of.
I had a friend that got me the book set one time, and I tried, and I was like, what? Why does her kid have big balls? Like, I don't get it.
Oh,
Like, it's just
regretting
bad
you.
writing. It's
Regretting
bad
you.
writing. Yeah, that one. It was bad writing. I'm sorry. I'm
Well,
not a good like opinion
listen.
person. It's not like I work in an editing house or some shit. I'm just a reader. But you know,
Are any of us ever going to judge you? There is no judgment here at all, ever.
Judgment free.
I don't.
Literally.
Oh, it's the movie
don't know,
with
I think if she likes the
James
books, we would
Franco
kind of
or
judge
Dave
her.
Franco. I love
Yeah.
Dave Franco.
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah.
me
And it
so
has McKenna Grace's boyfriend,
Yeah.
who has a name, and I'm forgetting because
You're talking about the boy from How to Train Your Dragon, the live action.
Yeah, him.
That's
I don't
Yeah,
that's
know
where I
his
know
name
him
either.
from.
that's my bad.
No,
I'm not good with backwards names.
I don't know me
that's
neither.
fair.
I only know like a few.
Yeah.
But he is the
I
dragon.
feel
guy.
like the younger actors, I like can't keep their names in my head.
Not to
Unless
sound
I
old or
watch
anything, but same.
what they're, unless I actually like watching what they're in,
Yeah.
I could tell you
Yeah.
all of the actors in the Percy Jackson show. Easy.
Actually, same. I just watched the last episode.
It's
It's amazing. It's
I could
amazing.
talk about
You know what?
that
That book
literally
series hit. That whole book
all-
series hit.
the whole series, all of them,
Amazing.
And the show, season 2 especially. Season 2 is so good.
So she's
I'm so sorry. Back to the round table. We're gonna
Anyway.
sorry. I was like looking into seeing like what thing like where I recognized McKenna Grace and I saw Five Nights at Freddy
Oh,
and then she went
she's-
viral.
Oh yeah, she's also in that.
because
She's in
Because she
so
made-
many things.
the little like camera
She also
things
got
of
an amazing filmography. What is it? Discography, filmography, whatever it is.
Wasn't
amazing
she in
line.
a movie with Chris Evans?
She's been
Think
she's been
so?
like in movies since she was like 8.
She's like
love that for her.
incredible. Yeah.
Iconic.
Amazing.
Love that. Now, I have to agree with Chelsea with the hits here. Simone series still one I think about probably almost daily, if not every other day, to this day. And especially with book 3 coming out like this year, which I
Yeah.
cannot wait for. I'm gonna have to like reread the series over again because it was just so much fun. But I'm also might be a little biased because she is a DM girly as I am. Outside PGB Book Club, I do have to mention I loved One Dark Window, that duology. I remember texting like Chelsea about it, and I was just like, ooh, like I loved it. It's more like on the YA side, which I don't mind, but it was just so captivating the way it flowed into like the second book and everything. Similar to Simone, like how like it work of art. Now, Miss again, yeah. I'm here with Chelsea in the Colleen Hate Club. Sorry, not sorry. I've never read her books. I never gave them a try. I just don't like her. Uh, simple as that. But I did DNF one book, and I really hate DNFing books, and I was so sad about it. It was The Dam by Harper L. Woods, and it's the third book in her Coven series. I devoured the first 2 books. Devoured. Loved them so much. And I just, for the life of me, just couldn't get into this one. And I was like, literally, I saw it like the announce, and I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to get it, blah, blah, blah. And I got it. Finally got to it. And yeah, just was not, it was like, it just like took place with like, same place, but it's like 2 different characters that were like kind of like off to the side and whatnot. But I'm just like, I don't like you guys. But it's a pretty display book because it has sprayed edges. So, but I'm gonna try rereading it later on. We'll see whenever I feel like it. Not really too pressed.
Sucker for a good sprayed edge. Amy knows, everybody knows this, but Amy especially. I think I picked up like 3 books at Barnes and Noble when we went, that just because the sprayed edges were nice.
I mean, it's so nice to display. I have a whole shelf dedicated for that.
Yeah. I am also with Mel and Charles. I think that Simone's books are so good. They flow really well, just in general, and then into each other. Counting down the days till we get book 3. The characters are engaging. They're great. I love those. I also do need to do a reread before the 3rd comes out, but I have my, again, TBR is never ending, and I need to get a book trophy of the 2nd book, I think. I also really enjoyed Slipstream. I think that one has just a special place for all of us because that was our first one. I'm excited for the 2nd book, especially because the female main character is a fashion girly. I'm a fashion girly. We love. A non-book club hit for me was the Empyrean series, and I know, I'm late to the game. Better late than never. And then if you like hockey romance books, I read the Vancouver Storm series and the DC Stars series. Those are both really good. I'm in the Mrs. category for me. I'm also in the Colleen Hate Club. I, too, have never read her books, and you could never make me read her books, and you could never make me like her or her books. But another miss for me was I read the entire Gilded Prisoner series. I could have DNF'd it. I don't know what it is about me. I cannot DNF a book. I have to know what happens, even if I don't like it. I have to see it through. I don't know why, but I do. But I just felt like that one was really drug out. It just it was 6 books, I think, and it was just, I was like, it could have been 3. It probably could have been 3. The world building was great. I will say that. The world building in it, fantastic. Other than that, I don't think I really had any other misses. I'm very much like, if the vibe is good, I'm good. I'm good.
I'm the same with you, Rachel. If I'm vibing with it, it's a automatic 5-star for me.
Exactly, literally.
So, for my hits, I have to agree with the girls. Simone's books are amazing. I devoured them. I will continue to devour pretty much anything she puts in front of me. Thank you, Simone. But my personal PGP book club hit is definitely a little bit different from everybody else. And this is a book that I still keep thinking about over and over and over and over again. And that is Faster by Andy J. Christopher. And no, I am not just saying that because Mel and I got to interview and yap with her.
Which, listen to that episode. She's amazing and she's so sweet.
She's so iconic. I love her.
And a DMV girly, too.
Andy, thank you. We appreciate you so much, babe. It was truly such a different vibe from everything else that we read for PGP Book Club and everything else that I kind of really read this year that I still can't help but think about it. My personal hit is actually kind of hard. I'm torn, but if I have to pick, I'm actually going to pick a series and that is the Ravenhood series by Kate Stewart. I'm going to give you a warning. If you pick this up, please be prepared for G-force levels of emotions, besties. It is going to send you on a wild friggin' ride. But also, if you do read this, please slide into our DMs and let me know that you read it, because I need people to talk to about this besides Leanne and Sophia, who have also read this. Leanne is the reason I read this book series. It's amazing. It's a wild, wild ride. I feel like people stop after the first book and you just have to keep going. Just do not stop reading until you have finished at least the main series and Rainy Days, because it's just so good. It's just so good. I, of course, am going to jump on the bandwagon of the Colleen Hoover hate. If Colleen Hoover has no haters, there is a problem, if I'm being really friggin' honest, people. She is just always in the miss category for me. I will say I am torn on my misses for my personal books. And that is between, like, the one book that I DNF'd and a book that I probably should have DNF'd. I received an arc of Immortal Origins by Taryn Knightley, and I really had to push myself to hit close to the 40% mark before I just gave up. My miss that I should have given up on is, hands down, no questions asked, Blood of Hercules by Jasmine Moss. Mel and I kind of sort of buddy read this together, and we both struggled hard through this book. Will I eventually consider reading book 2? Yeah, simply because I really just need to know how things end. But I probably should have DNF'd that book because I really had to make myself
It was like pulling
do
teeth
it.
to finish it. I remember.
I swear the only reason I actually kind of finished it was because I also had the audiobook and I spent money on the audiobook. So I was like, I
hate
need
when
to
that
finish
happens.
you.
Yeah. No. And the funny thing is Jasmine Mass actually like has a different book that's like outside of like the Blood of Hercules like series and everything, and every time I see it at Barnes and Nobles, I'm just like, ugh. Like it sucks because it's like I really wanted to like this book and it just had so much potential.
I feel like I've seen it at the bookstore and it looked pretty, and I
It's
was
that's why I got
interested.
it.
It
Now
looks
I'm happy I didn't
beautiful.
spend the money during the sale.
I had the ebook of it that I think was
Yeah.
on Kindle Unlimited.
Yeah.
At that time. I don't know if it's still on KU, but I'm really happy that I didn't actually like buy the physical book or buy the ebook. I used an Audible
Oh, the
credit for
Audible
the
card? Yeah.
audiobook. And I will say PSA for my audiobook girlies. If you're like me and didn't know this, you can actually go into the Audible website and return audiobooks you didn't like. It does cut you off after like 2, but I'm going to email them, and because there's one that I stopped the audiobook and I just read the book right traditionally because the audiobook was so bad. And so I'm like, I'm gonna email them and be like, hey, listen, like this was so not the vibe. Like I'm not even 40% of the way through this audiobook. Take it
Oh,
back,
me.
give me my credit back for it. Like I don't want you.
It's fine.
So if you don't know that you can do that, and you have find yourself in situations where you're like, oh my god, I'm like in this audiobook and I can't stand the narrators or whatever the case may be, you can kind of technically do something about it.
I will say though, if you see a book and it just looks pretty and you're not sure if it's gonna suck or not, read the first few chapters on Libby.
Yeah.
I've done
That's
that
a good
multiple
idea.
times.
Yep.
Or even if you're in the
always-
bookstore, sit down
Yeah.
and read the first chapter. At
If you have
least.
time.
Yeah, you do.
If you have time, sit and read like the first chapter, even the first 10 pages.
See what
Or
I've
you
been
can do
doing
like me and
now.
read the last page.
Right. What I've been doing, like the books I didn't like or like that were pretty, and I just didn't either read or like DNF for whatever reason, or just didn't like after finishing. I've been putting them in my little library, like the little like box
Oh, is
thing,
it?
like
Oh,
yeah, and it's so
when
cute.
you have
And I
them.
got a hit before we move on. I got a hit because I have like two like multiple. I have an extra copy of Alchemist, so I put that in, and then like two other like a bunch of other books I had like extra copies of, and I was like, let me just put in like my little library, blah blah blah. So I drove up. They had one of the Crescent City books,
You really lost your wings.
I got it, and it looks like it was like barely even touched. So
Love.
I grabbed it.
There's one around the corner for me that I have a box of books that I need to go through, and I should bring them some
I
and see what else
100%
they
recommend.
have. But also, if you have used bookstores near you, a lot
Yeah.
of them will also like happily accept books. Some of them will even give you store credit
Yeah.
for things that you bring them.
Also, donate to your
The
local
library.
library.
That too.
Donate to your local
Mhm.
library. They'll always take stuff as long as it's not too beat up. Yes. Yes.
So I will say, moving on, there are some things I would love to talk about because I feel like we had a year worth of books and there are just some things that still stuck with me. So I just want to take a moment to talk about the moments that are living rent free in my head. Because I'm gonna go back to Simone. Simone, what the heck? You literally threw us into Ride with Me. Now I understand why it was called Ride with Me within like the first two chapters. The Vegas scene under the table rewired my brain moving forward. And I was just like, oh, this was not the aesthetic or vibes of the first book. And that
It
is
was
just a
not.
warning for the readers that want to read it with us. Two different books, same universe. Amazing, rewired my
Different levels
brain.
of spice.
Different levels.
Equally as fun and good.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
No, for me, oof, faster. That book
Rewired.
still like yeah, rewired literally like off like the first chapter, like it just was crazy. And like I'm always like recommending that book to like my non F1 friends who like love romance but like are trying to like switch it up and everything like that. I'm always just like, you should read faster. It's an F1 romance book, but it's not really like F1, like it's too much. It's a
romance
good
with the side. It's like heated rivalry. It's like romance with
Yeah.
the side of F1. Like heated
Yes.
rivalry is
It's
like romance
such
with
a
the
wild
side of
ride.
hockey.
Side of hockey.
Yep. Such a wild ride though. Loved
No,
it.
I'm in the same boat. Faster lives rent free in my mind. Again, it is like the last full book that I read, but it was wild. And the entirety of Ride. I mean, Simone's books, they're so good. And I like that they're so different. You know? I can't pick a favorite moment. I'm too indecisive. It sounds like a cop out. Anybody who knows me knows I cannot make a decision to save my life. So
I think we
please
can all
never
relate.
ask me to pick a favorite moment, favorite quote, favorite anything.
Rachel, favorite driver right now.
Don't. Please don't. I have a list, okay?
You'll come back to us with a presentation.
Literally.
We love PowerPoints.
I love it. I feel like I have said this before, and I'm probably going to say this exact phrase 100 more times, but I so wish that the PGP girls could see my reactions while I'm reading, but I wish all of our listeners and viewers could see my reactions while I'm reading, because the sheer volume of like WTFs that I drop is honestly concerning at times.
Yes.
It's honestly alarming the amount of times that I've read a book that makes me stop and go, what the actual fuck? Pardon my French, I'm old enough to swear, people. But I have to second Chelsea. Ride with Me, the table scene, is still one of my favorite scenes. It's just it was not something that I saw coming from Simone, and I love that she surprised me with it.
So early on.
But I have to give an honorable mention to the faster Singapore scene. If you know, you know.
Oh, we know.
Oh my god.
We definitely know. That book flew across my living room. Oh, that's a good sign though. That's a good sign.
It's a
When
good-
that
no, it's a good
happens,
thing. Yeah.
it's a great sign.
Yep.
Oh, dear God.
Oh my god.
Okay.
You know, we read a lot of good ones. I don't know if like I have a top 3 of everything we've read. For sure, the Simone series is up there for me. I also kind of want to say the Eliana book was really good. Like for the
Mhm.
fill it all. I to this day love the brother. I'm really excited that it's gonna be him for the next book that she's coming out with because I just feel
Comes
like
out
there's
next month.
so much tension between him and the main character's girlfriend.
Hmm.
So I'm just like, I think those two, I guess technically three, because I'm doing the Simone series, were like my top three. The other ones were really fun, very entertaining, but
Yeah.
something about these just had the touch.
Yeah. Yeah. No, same. Cross the line, ride with me. Definitely top three of our PGP book clubs, but I do want to include Slipstream too because the fact, again, we mentioned it already, the fact that that was our first like PGP book club
Yeah,
book, it just makes it so special to like all of us.
it was good.
Yeah.
I'm in the same. I think we all share a brain cell. I'm in the same boat. Cross the Line and Ride with Me were so good, and I mean, it might be a little bit of a hot take, but Faster is up there for me. It was really good. It was well written. It was entertaining. It was so well paced for my ADHD. I'm gonna give it that. Again, I'm here for the vibes too, y'all. Yeah. And again, Slipstream being our first book, that's always gonna hold a special place for me. It was the one that started it all.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Like Rachel and someone is I like Rachel am someone who also sometimes has a hard time like picking favorites or picking a top 3 or a top 5. So a top 3 is a little hard for me sometimes, but I'm going to stick to these as my picks for right now at least. This is a little bit of a mix of both personal reads and PGP books, so take that as you will. My first choice is Quicksilver by Callie Hart.
Me
Kingfisher
making fun of the
is
man.
by far my favorite book boyfriend ever. I don't know what it is,
But
but I absolutely loved that book. I did read Brimstone. I have thoughts on Brimstone, but that's a whole different story. Um, there's something about Quicksilver that just was so good for me, and I loved it. Like everybody else mentioned, Slipstream by Madge is so special to all of us because it was our first PGP book club read, but it also holds a really special place in my heart because I feel like it had the best representation of neurodivergent characters, which was just really refreshing to see like accurate representation. My final pick for my top 3 is House of Bane and Blood by Alexis L. Menard. I'm so excited for book 2 to drop.
look, I'm so sorry. Do you guys remember in Easy A? There's like a scene
Yep.
where she's going, "How can you moan the name George? Like that's not hot." That's what I'm thinking right now.
When you hear Kingfisher,
Yes, it's not
Now,
hot.
Chelsea, I do want to
Listen,
like add Target has a special edition of the book. I got it and it's beautiful.
it's
Sprayed edges too.
beautiful.
You don't
Love.
have the guy's face, because literally
No.
that's the only reason why I was avoiding that book all this time because the
Valid.
Oh,
cover
with
was
the
so
little
cringy.
No,
creature.
It weirded me
so
out.
I need to give I need to ride for my girl Callie because Callie got fucking bullied. And I literally mean the girl got bullied by people saying that the original cover of Quicksilver was AI. No, she designed it herself, but she got so much hate over the original cover that she redid the cover to what it is now, where it just says like Quicksilver and like silver foiling. And it's pretty, it matches Brimstone, but like it doesn't pop off the shelf the same way. And I kind of hate it. There's some limited edition stuff that she's done for it that I'm still beating myself up for not buying. But yeah, she got a lot of heat for the original cover of Quicksilver. I don't mind it, but I also totally get why it's not everyone's vibe.
Yeah, I
just
the
think of
whole
the
AI
little
thing, I
tear.
didn't think about that. I just didn't like it. I'm also just weird about like faces on covers.
No, I get that.
Yeah. So,
Melissa,
but
don't you like whimsy in your book covers?
I do like Whoopsie, but I don't know. It's just something about that one. But no hate to her. No hate to her. No hate. It's a me problem, clearly. Now, we have to talk about the one book that changed the game. And outside of like book club, for me, it was Phantasma.
So good.
I am so pumped for book 3. It was just announced like a few weeks ago or like a few days ago. Chelsea knows my love for this one because like every other day I was just like, you gotta read this, and I
read
hopped
it.
right. into like Enchantra, and it was so good. I highly recommend it. It was such a fun like romantasy. It's not like your typical like fae like stuff like that, but it's just I loved it. I'm gonna like probably reread it before the third book comes out.
It was
It was
really
just it was that good. They're thick boys. Not gonna lie, those books are thick boys, but worth it.
I swear you don't notice how thick they are.
I, again, I was late to the party, but for me, the Empyrean series is what changed the game for me this year. I convinced, or forced, my littles and my husband to read them as well. I'm not even kidding. They loved them, by the way. It's kind of what started my romantasy journey. Like I've read fantasy books, but I was never really super into like romance or romantasy or anything like that. And that's kind of what kicked off that journey for me. And I don't know, I wish I could read them again for the first time. It also like I was in the lobby of my office building reading Onyx Storm. And this girl, which is a choice, I know. This girl walks past and she goes, "Oh my god!" and pulls her book out of her bag, and it's
Nothing
fantastic.
like bonding over it.
We love
I
it.
love it.
That was a really good book series. I have opinions on it for the third book, but I don't
Yes.
know. I feel like there were so many books I read this year that I would totally read
Yeah.
again next year and the year after that. Like they will transcend time. But a book that gutted me, and I know it's because she saw our TikTok edits, was Haymitch's Hunger Games. I cried like a lot. I was really frustrated with the book. It made so much sense once you watch Hunger Games now. It's like it's everything clicks. I don't think there's any bad writing she can do, but she definitely will hurt you and gut you.
Yeah.
And she knows how to time the release of these stories
And like
very well.
I don't, it's like it makes you think like did she really have this planned when she was doing like Hunger Games? Because there are just so many things. And I'm just like, oh, I literally have watched like hour analysis videos on YouTube of people like doing the time sequences of everything. I'm like, this is Hunger Games will transcend times. Like my kids will be reading that.
I need a Finnick book like ASAP.
No,
Mhm.
I don't
That's
know.
all.
I feel like that will also.
Actually, no, I
give-
don't think I want to read his book.
I don't know if I want to read
I
that book.
don't
It's gonna
find
break my
it.
heart. However,
He
if they
like-
do, if there is a Finnick book and they end up making that one into a movie, which they will, I want Walker Scobell to play young Finnick.
I have no
Yeah.
idea who that is.
He plays
Yeah.
Percy Jackson in the show.
Oh,
He's
okay,
so
yeah.
good. And if you look at him and
No, he's an amazing actor.
but if you look at him next to like a picture of Sam, I don't remember how to pronounce his name, but the guy who played Finnick, it's
Yeah.
perfect.
Mhm.
It's perfect. Also, Suzanne Collins has said that she only writes when she has something to say. I don't really know if I want her writing another book, but I also think she needs to. But I also think she wrote this one because she was like, "God damn it, you guys didn't get it."
Hello.
Sorry.
I
I
love
still
her, though.
remember being
I love her.
forced, not even forced, but I got to read the first Hunger Games book for my senior class in high school for my English class because my English teacher was such a badass that she fought to get it added to our syllabus.
She knew what was real.
She's an icon.
She is the moment.
I am so sorry, not even a little bit sorry, besties, but I'm going a tiny bit rogue with this because, again, I can't pick a book. So I'm picking a series. Sorry, not sorry. It's the Broken Bloodline series by Sadie Kincaid. Guys, when I tell you that this book that this series as a whole, like, rewired something in me, it truly did. I finished all 3 books plus the 58-page novella in 10 days. Yes, I said 10 days. I will say, I don't think you really need to read the novella, but that's just me. It was cute. It wasn't a necessity. It didn't totally, like, make anything make more sense or add anything. It was just, like, fun, and I think she wrote the novella after she had already written the first book. So, like, it's a little interesting in terms of, like, when things were released and written. But I loved that series. I don't know what she put in it, but I ate it up. I will say that series is spicy as hell, but it is a Sadie Kincaid series, so I was prepared and expecting that. It is a wide choose. If you don't like that, don't pick it up, because you will hate it. but there's something in that series that just like changed me.
Now, we have to talk about the one book that changed the game in our book club. And of course, we're going to probably like be beating the dead horse by the end of this.
Yep.
My bad.
The Lights Out series, Cross the Line, Ride With Me. And I'm going to have to say Faster. Faster, definitely. I think something changed in all of us after that.
No, literally. I'm seconded along with, the Simone series.
Lights
Sorry. Thank you. My brain is not working right now. And Faster, of course. I mean, I can't make a decision to save my life, but those, I think, were like the standouts for me, for sure.
I think out of everything we read, the one that was like 100% its own thing was Faster. Like that. I had never read a novella like that. That was a lot. There was a lot to process from like chapter 1 to the last
so
one.
good,
The last
though.
one being one of my favorites. But it was good. Like, and after Andy explaining in her interview like why she did it the way she did, because I remember when we did the episode, we were like, oh, it would be fun if this was like separate books.
Yeah.
But hearing her explain why it had the speed it did and like the chaos, I was like,
It made a
"You're
lot of
right.
sense.
It does feel like I'm in F1 car and I can't get out because of what's happening.
I also,
It was
I
like,
think
whoa.
one of my favorite things was on the back. She's like, it's Real Housewives. I'm like, oh, that's why I like it.
Yep.
Real
Valid.
Housewives of Salt Lake City, guys.
But that
you
changed the game
haven't-
for me. I think
Yeah.
I would love to look
Yeah.
for more books that have like intermixed relationships going on at once like that. It was very chaotic, but it was fun.
I am totally team Cross the Line and Ride With Me. Simone, babes, I have no idea what you put in these books, but I devoured them, and please keep it coming.
I was going to say it was correct, but that's not an appropriate answer. So not correct.
Me too.
Not that. Don't do that. We don't recommend that.
We
Please
don't condone that.
We do
not.
not.
Dare. D-A-R-E.
Dare. Now, we have to talk about one book we regret finishing.
It's just general stuff.
This is just general. Because honestly, for me, like, for PGB Book Club, like, there's none that I don't regret finishing. I love them all. But outside, Fearful, Lauren. That was a very unnecessary novella.
I get it.
I was so excited, especially since it dealt with Kai's brother, Kit, like the king or prince, Kit, and everything. So I was like, oh my God, I'm really excited. It was just a waste of my damn time. And it was like only like 60 pages. I was upset. The book's pretty. It looks pretty on my shelf, but other
That's
than
not
that,
enough sometimes.
no.
Yeah.
Nope.
For me, again, it wasn't just one book, it was the entire Gilded Prisoner series. I probably should have stopped after the first one, but again, had to see it
I
through.
respect that you didn't.
Thank you.
Sometimes you gotta see it through.
I know there's a lot of people who love this series, and it was good, but again, it just felt too long. It got overwhelming at the end with all these different POVs. I feel like there were like unfinished plot points. It wasn't bad. It's just not something I would read again.
It's a series I feel like I've heard so many mixed reviews on.
Yeah, the pacing
Like,
is
I've
just
considered it, but I feel like everything I see on the internet is like, either you loved it or you hated
yeah.
it.
The pacing is like so slow at first, and then all of a sudden you're going at 100 miles an hour, and you're like, hold on.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I wouldn't love that.
No,
It's
that would
not-
drive me crazy.
I don't really recommend it.
Well, sad to know. I did have that on my TBR. It will be removed. But honestly, I think it's so disappointing. I hate trudging through books. It is the bane of my existence. I'm a little bit like Rachel, where I really try not to DNF. Like, I think I've DNF'd like twice the last 5 years. But the last book from Fourth Wing was not a hit. It was not a hit for me. Look, maybe you guys listening aren't gonna agree. I talked about this with my my other friends in book club, but like, she was rushed. Like, we as the readers rushed her to get that third book out. A lot of it really
Yeah.
did not make sense. It had nothing to do with the first two books. Like, suddenly we were just going to these other islands and these people were coming, and then what happened with
There was too much introducing different things at once.
Yeah.
and like, I
Definitely-
personally, the way that the dragons reacted to the situations compared to the first two books, like, didn't match with the
Yeah.
personalities.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think
Yeah.
that I had to like I read it and then I reread them. I'm such a rereader. I
Yeah.
reread them all, and I will say there are things that I missed in my first read
Mhm.
for all of them, and then but rereading them and then rereading Onyx Storm again, I was like, okay, now things are starting to kind of click. But again, I also am severely ADHD, and so it could just be my brain being like, oh, like pulling everything, and
Oh
I'm like,
yeah.
so I don't. Maybe it. I feel like that one though. I do agree. She was rushed to get it done, and I
Which is
Yeah.
why I'm
do.
so happy that she told the fans, like, shut up. You're gonna wait for the
Yep.
fourth one.
And
As
I
she
No, and that she
should. As an
should.
author,
as she
you should
should.
have like the agency to be like, stop
Mhm.
rushing me.
And I
Yeah.
definitely like I will see people I will fight people in her comments that are like, we just want book 4. I'm like, guys, she has
No,
a
you
family.
don't
She
want
You
has
book
want
other
it to be
obligations.
good.
Do you want it to be good or not? Like, shut up
Yeah.
and let her live her life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello?
I don't. And then like another thing, again, I was talking about this with these people. Like, her series is supposed to be 5 books, and like the way
Mhm.
the third book kind of played out, we're like, did we force her to write too many books, and now she has to make up things?
Yeah, because it was originally supposed to be 3 and then it
Mhm.
changed to 5.
Yeah.
I think
And
that
we're
was her
like,
publisher though.
It
Yeah.
was the
Mhm.
publisher. It was.
It was her
And I'm
publisher.
just
100%.
like, you're pushing it, and like I don't know, I lost a little faith in the series. The first
Yeah.
2 books were so good. I ate them up. I read them
Yeah.
twice.
Yeah.
Like, no issue reading it twice either. And then
Yeah.
the third one, I'm like, I don't want to reread you.
I will say the graphic audio, so good. 10 out of 10
I
recommend.
do. I do love that her team puts a lot of funding into the audiobooks.
Yes.
Yes.
They do.
The casting choices that she made for the graphic audio versions of those audiobooks, she deserves all of the kudos for that. All of the voice actors that she picked
Yeah.
deserve
So
their
good.
friggin' flowers because they're all amazing.
And we
I
learned
have
from
not
Andy, it's very
done,
expensive.
Yeah.
especially for a dramatic audio, that's the most expensive method of audiobook you can produce.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I have purposely been holding off doing my reread of Onyx Storm so that I can do it with the audiobook. I have it. I
Maybe it
just
makes
haven't
it
made
better.
time for it.
Yeah.
I will at some point when we get closer to when book 4 is coming out because I'm going to reread the whole damn
Same.
series.
You kind of
Um,
have to with how long it takes.
Yes.
Yeah. I also like
Yes.
she's plotting books 4 and 5 together, which
I
means
hope.
I
Which is
think they'll
smart.
flow a lot better, which is
Yeah.
which is what I'm excited about.
Yeah, I feel like this third one is like a lump or something. Like,
Yeah.
it's setting
It's-
up
it-
now for the next 2 books.
I
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
say
It-
it had me shook at the end when I was like I had to
Yeah.
sit there for like a solid 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for my little to read that one. She's a teacher and she hasn't read it yet. And so I'm waiting for her to read that one so she can text me and yell at me because she's going to be so mad.
Why did you make me read this?
Yeah.
Still upset.
I've got several of those from the
No.
first 2 books.
I mean, it's valid.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like the book I regret finishing the most this year. Yes, people, I am back yet again to rag on Blood of Hercules. I'm so sorry. But the 4 to 5 star reviews that are on Goodreads and other platforms
You
of
guys
this
are
book
lying.
are friggin' mind-boggling to me. You have to have received this as an arc or something, or you got it for PR. Like, you can't
You got
tell me
paid for it.
that you, like, either you can't tell me that you're a grown adult and you actually thought that that was a 4 or 5 star read. You're either really young and you thought that that was a 4 to 5 star read, or you're crazy, because that read is hands down a 2 star at best.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
Goodreads let me do half stars, it would be a 1.5.
I forgot how much I rated it.
I think I rated it a 2 star on Goodreads because I'm like, it's not quite bad enough for me to give it a 1 star on Goodreads, but like, if I went through and rated it on Fable, I'd probably rate it like a 1.5. Maybe
Was it
a
like
1.5.
trying to be like a Percy
Like,
Jackson aesthetic with like the whole Greek and
It-
Roman thing?
Again,
so
it had
I-
so much potential and it was lost.
I love anything that has a Greek
Yeah.
mythology kind of component to it, or a Roman mythology, Norse mythology. Like, I'm such a mythology girly, and I was so excited, and the characters felt flat. The dialogue is awkward and clunky. Like, the female main character, all she does for the entire first book is complain. She's whiny.
She's a very like, woe is me.
I hate that. I'm like, you cannot, like, you're supposed to be competing in these trials because you're supposed to be competing in these trials, and your woe is me every, like, other chapter.
I cannot stand when I'm reading a book and the girl is just whining, because I'm not a whiner. So when I start reading someone that's whining every 5 minutes, I'm like, if we were on the same team, I would have thrown you off the boat already. Shut up.
Yeah, I'd be like, go die.
Girl, no. I do want to read the second book because I really want to understand where the hell she's taking this plot. Well, no, I'm just trying to figure out, like, she gave us the plot. She gave me the weirdest plot twist at the end, and I'm like, I now need to comprehend where the heck this is going.
It had so much potential.
So much. I was so disappointed.
You know what? Wait. When I read ACOTAR, people are going to judge me for this. That's fine. I thought Farah was annoying as fuck, and I didn't want to read it. And you know what? I read all 5 books, and the series itself ended up being amazing. So maybe she does that.
I will die on this hill of Throne of Glass is so much better than ACOTAR.
I've heard that many times. I've only read
the first book, like that high fantasy. It was a lot more like that high fantasy as opposed to ACOTAR, which was more like a romantasy.
Yeah.
But I also like the female main character in Throne of Glass a lot more than Farah. I think that's why. I mean, again, great series overall. Girl, we need that next book like yesterday.
Farah's one of those characters that you're reading the book and you're like, you know the answer. How can you not read? How do you get a prince and you can't read?
Two for me and
like
Tamlin.
For me, there I don't know what it was there, but like the female character in Blood of Hercules just like really rubbed me the wrong way.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about, Amy.
And it sucked because the audiobook has one of my favorite male narrators of all time in it. I love Teddy Hamilton.
I mean, not duology, a dual voice?
Full cast. Well, full cast. There's 4. I'm literally checking. There's 4 actors.
That's a lot of actors for a new book.
Yeah. No, I think she released this after the book. Like, I think the book came out first and she saw what it was how it was doing and then went and did the audiobook. I don't think they came out at the same time, but I don't know for sure. But it has 2 male narrators that I really like their work. Like, they generally, if I see them doing something, I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna love this. Not the case for this book. I was kind of totally let down, and I'm a little disappointed that I forced myself to finish it, but I did. It is what it is.
Yeah, we all have those. We'll see what happens. Now, again, we can probably like talk about these books that we've all read because we've all read like a variation of like different books and the same ones. But for like the genre patterns, I feel like, I mean, thinking PGB Book Club, I felt like we had a good mix of like the spice, the sports romance, but I really appreciate that we had a lot of girl bosses. The strong FMNCs and C. It was really cool to see how they were involved in the world of F1 without being a wag. And it's like no shade to them because obviously like who wouldn't want to be a wag? But it was just nice to see like that representation, like Amy had mentioned earlier, like that neurodivergency. And then we have like diverse, like of different like ethnic culture backgrounds and everything like that. But outside of PGB Book Club, I am just a romantasy whore, and I will die on that hill. I just love world building. I love fantasy.
Jesus.
I love escaping into a world with how crappy it is.
Yep.
In the real world.
Yeah.
So.
No. I get it.
Avoiding reality at an Olympic level, babes.
Yep.
Romantasy is great for something to disassociate into, and
100%.
I love it.
100%. I definitely read more spice this year than I have in years past. I also read a lot more sports romances than I have in years past. I think that I've gotten really into those, mostly hockey, but obviously all of the F1 ones. I got really into romantasy this year because it is a great way to avoid reality at an Olympic level because with what's going on, get me out of here, please, for the love of God.
I definitely also stepped more into fantasy this year, as for the same reasons as all these girls. But I will say, I just think like the fascination of magic will never leave me because ever
Yeah.
since I was
Mhm.
little, I love like the Harry Potter shit and the Percy Jackson shit and all that.
Love.
But Rachel, the games gods play,
Yeah.
I know it was maybe like slow for you. That shit was good. If you get all the way to the end, it
It's
ended up being really good. It's just a little bit of a Hunger Games dupe.
yeah. It's
Mm.
building up for me. It was building
I'm not
up.
gonna
I
lie.
just I just got so busy and I was just like I can't. I have like no time for reading.
I
And
feel like
that's
that was a
valid.
big complaint when I was
Yeah.
like looking into the book. A lot of people in the reviews are like, "Oh, it's a Hunger Games, blah blah." Everyone's recreating the same shit. Just read it and see if you like it.
Yeah.
To
If
be
you like the
honest, it
vibes,
was
you'll like
pretty
the
good.
vibes. Like
And I liked like the magic that they like
yeah.
associated to the gods and stuff, so it was pretty interesting. But if you are in the magic realm, I read Arcana Academy. Dude, I ate that shit up in a day. I read the book.
That's on
If you
my
look at my
TBR.
timer, it
Yeah.
says like 6 hours or something. And I
Yeah.
cannot wait for the next
Yeah.
one because I need answers. I need answers. And I really hope it doesn't disappoint me because I read another book this year that was so good. I don't remember it now. I'll find it. But they duped me. They gypped me. They got me with a
Oh
really good plot
no.
twist at the end of the first book and I
I
read the
hate when
second
that
one and
happens.
like the character changed. She went from this badass FMC to like
Uh,
this whiny needed this
No.
man's help for
no.
everything that she started dating in the first one. Like suddenly he was the main character doing everything. I'm like, you were figuring it out. You were doing it.
No. I
He was
hate
just a
that.
hot guy. And then the hot guy became it was horrible. So I really hope they don't do
Uh,
that again because Arcana Academy is the same thing. Like she just started with the hot guy, and I'm like, if this hot
Yeah.
guy takes
no.
over and
Yeah.
finishes her quest, I'm gonna punch some people.
Yeah, no. I feel like it's sometimes so hard with series because
Mhm.
I had started a series where like the first book ended on a cliffhanger. I go to the second book. I get through the second book. Second
Cliffhanger.
book ends on a motherfucking cliffhanger. And I go to look at the Goodreads reviews of the third book, and supposedly that one also ends on a cliffhanger. And I'm like, no, you
Where
cannot
does it
leave
end?
me with 3 different versions of a cliffhanger.
Are they ever addressed?
Like, I
That's another
don't
thing.
like. I don't know. At some point, I may go back and finish out the series, but
Mhm.
I just was like, no, you've like 1 cliffhanger, fine. 2, eh. If you're gonna give me 3, I'm automatically not gonna continue
Yeah.
because that's just like
It's too much.
don't toy. Like you can keep a plot going and keep intrigue going without consistently doing cliffhangers for your
Yep.
endings. That's
Yep.
just my personal stance.
Okay, wait. It
100%.
was called the Atlas Six. That book, don't get it.
Oh,
Okay. Good
yes.
to know. Good to know. That one's been
I
on.
have that one.
I've seen that one.
The second one came out this year. I read them back to back.
No.
No,
Damn.
dang, I hate that.
I have the first one on my like physical shelf.
Well, if you already
Ugh.
got it, read it.
Oh, I
Yeah.
am. Why
No,
not?
so I am a girly who loves different book tracking apps. I have like 3 on my phone.
It's three.
I
Do
love
I need
Fable.
3?
Yes.
No.
No. But they're
They-
fun.
They all technically give me slightly different data, though. Right, my issue was at the end of 2025. They all had different numbers, even though I had the same books added on them. So I don't know what the hell happened.
Wait, that's interesting though.
Because my story graph says I read 106. Fable said I read 108, but Goodreads says I read 109. So I'm like, I'm confused.
So with Goodreads, what?
I had
Oh,
no.
go-
I even went through and double checked because there
Oh,
were
the dates?
duplicates at first.
Yeah, because
Because-
I've noticed sometimes like if I do like an arc, it'll count like the actual book that like I marked off,
And,
and
then
it'll
there's
say
like
the
a ghost.
Kindle document. Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
also
no.
like rereads because like I'll reread
Yeah,
stuff.
no.
and-
I don't. I'm
Do
this
you
last
count
year.
rereads?
Yeah.
You
Oh,
can.
100%.
Goodreads will.
I
As
was gonna
will
say
I think
Goodreads will.
Fable.
Yeah.
But I did not do a single reread at all of of anything last
Huh.
year. So I don't
do
know.
I
And
do
I
that.
even like re-imported my Goodreads list into my Fable to try to like make it work, and it still was like 1 short. And I'm like, I don't understand. It's so weird. But what I do like with Storygraph is Storygraph gives you a really nice graph at the end of the year.
Oh my god,
Of the
like a
genres.
rap, like a rap.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll
Oh.
give you like the genres that you read, and it breaks it out because it's not just like romance. I feel like a lot of the other apps that I've used just say romance and they include everything, but this one said I read a lot of romance, fantasy, and sports romances in 2025, which really and truly tracks for me. Honestly, the sheer number of hockey romances I read this year is slightly concerning, but that's okay.
Concerning.
Now, controversial topic. It actually has been going on around Twitter threads if you missed it.
Really?
Audiobooks versus physical versus Kindle. A lot of people think that two of them don't count.
That's so
Shut the hell up.
And
Stupid.
I've met someone that said reading from ebooks in general don't count either, and I'm like, shut up.
Excuse
It is
me,
reading.
We
the
are
hell out
going
of
through a
me?
literary crisis. If you are reading in some format, just
Who
read.
cares?
Just
And-
read. I don't care if it's on your phone. I don't care if you're listening through it on your AirPods. I don't
Audiobooks,
read.
they've done studies. Audiobooks uses the same areas of your brain as reading.
Science.
Exactly. So, I mean, people are gonna
Hello?
people.
Yeah,
People are so obnoxious.
Exactly.
so
And
annoying.
I have a Kindle. I love my Kindle down. I am personally more of like a physical book person because I love going into like Barnes or like a small like indie like small business like bookshop and just that smell hits me. Love it. So I do lean more towards that just because I like arranging my shelves and like having an actual book. But I do make it a habit. Like if I notice the book that I get is a series, I'll get the first book, and if I like the series enough, or if I want to like see it through, which is 9 times out of 10 happens, I'll read the rest on my Kindle just to save the space. And I really, really enjoy it, then I'll get the book trophy. But I do like I'm trying to like this year just like use my Kindle a bit more because space is kind of limited right now. But I do try like make a habit to at least read like one chapter per night just to like keep the momentum going. Because if I don't, then I'm just like ugh, I just won't, and then I'll just keep that going, and I don't want that happening because I actually do enjoy reading.
I'm a physical book person. I'm like to a point to where I think my husband is going to stage an intervention because we do have to move this year. And that might
Books
be
weigh a
problem.
lot.
Books weigh a lot. We are hiring
And
people,
That's
but
a
books weigh
lot
a
of
lot.
books.
I do.
I've
I
seen
know.
the bookshelves. She has a lot of friggin' books,
I
people.
do. I do. I have gotten into a slightly healthy habit of I'll like read a book on my iPad, usually through Libby. Support your local libraries, people. Or if Libby doesn't have the book that I'm looking for, I'll do Kindle Unlimited. I also do Kindle Unlimited because there are a lot of self-published, like indie authors that publish through Kindle Unlimited, and you can't find them anywhere else. But I try to stick with Libby as like much as I possibly can. Audiobooks are typically a miss for me, but that's not because I don't think that they're books, because they are. They are. It's just when I get into a book, I read it all in one sitting. Like I'll be at my desk at work. I don't think anybody that I work with listens to this, but if they do, no, you don't. No, I don't. I don't actually do this. And so I'll read it all in one sitting, maybe two, depending on when I start it and what time of day it is. And I even upping the speed on some audiobooks, I can't do it. I have to physically, it's easier for me to physically read it. I also just can't do with like one person or two people doing different voices. I can't do it. Graphic audios where it's like a whole cast, love it. I can do that. But it's much more immersive, but I can't do it with like one narrator or two narrators. I can't do it. I don't know what it is. But yeah. Graphic audio, 10 out of 10, recommend that. Love those.
No, the year I really tried listening to audiobooks. Just because like Spotify gives it to you for free and
Yeah.
like Libby and everything. But I'm not a huge audio girl. Sometimes what I've learned I do like doing is like I'll read along to the audiobooks because authors, some of them, do these really cool add-ins. Like Mel and I read this book. It was called First Time Caller, and if you listen to the audio, they actually had clips from the radio show that were in the book.
Yeah.
Such
That's
a good
cool.
book. Book 2 comes out next month. I
Yes.
can't wait. It's based in Baltimore.
And it was
Can't
so
wait.
sweet. Like it is such like a feel good like romance because like even the third act breakup isn't really a third act breakup. It's like one chapter, and I'm like, good, get it over with. So I really love that. But my favorite will always be like physical and digital. And digital really is just like I wish I could put fan fiction on Libby. On Goodreads, I still read that shit. I do. Like, some people have good stuff to
Should.
write.
As you
Hell
should.
yeah.
And like,
Period.
jumping on what Rachel said, support your local libraries. I also can no longer be purchasing books like I want to, and
Retweet.
Libby and my local library have saved me. They also offer so much more than books, guys. You can get DVDs, you can rent microwaves, you can
They have
go use their
computers.
3D printer, their sewing machines. Look at what your people be doing.
Yeah.
Mine has classes every week,
Mhm.
free, yoga. Anyways, go check out your libraries. There's
Support your
also
local
Hoopla.
libraries.
Hoopla is
Oh, yeah.
another app. I use that one more for comics because Libby doesn't have comics. But if you go on Hoopla, you
Oh.
can rent like DC Marvel comics.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Or
Yeah.
anime. Anyways, I just at the end of the day, I love physical and digital. I think audio for me is like I'm getting used to it, but
Mhm.
the voices just throw me off, and I cannot stand when a girl does a boy's voice and a boy does a girl's voice. Like,
No.
it
Same
literally
way.
takes me out of the experience.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I totally get that. Also, if people need another app that's similar to kind of Libby and Hoopla, you look at, it's called Everand. Everand. It's the literal logo on
It's
the
audio.
App Store is a little ampersand, the and sign.
Yeah.
It's I have not really played around with it myself personally, but I've heard a lot of good things. I have so many book related apps on my phone that I just haven't had a chance to actually like play around with it yet. But for me, 2025 was definitely the year of the audiobook for me. I blame Leanne. She more or less bullied me into trying the ACOTAR graphic audio with book one. I listened to it on the train back from Maryland to Boston, and I was hooked. But I will say, I have realized that I am extremely picky with my audiobooks. I am a dual narration or full cast narration only kind of girl. The only way I'm going to do a single narration book is if it is a memoir or a biography, which I normally don't read a ton of. But I got a Kindle in 2025 and I love ebooks. I don't know why, but I feel like I read faster on my Kindle than I do with a physical book.
Same.
But there are moments where I do really like having a physical book. I just have no bookshelf space in my current home when I have different book space. I may get more physical books, but it's likely going to be books I've already read that I know I 120% like. I never thought I was going to be a book trophy fan, but I fear that is going to be what I become because I have been burned a few times too many getting a physical book blind and then completely hating it. But that's just me.
Nah, I get it. I've never been a trophy book person either until I got swindled by a couple books, and I was like, I get it now.
Yeah.
Like, being ripped off, and books aren't cheap anymore.
Yeah.
Will say, I recommend Pango books if you are like looking for book trophies. If it's the book you've read, Pango's like a resale book site, like person to person. It's fantastic. I've gotten so many of my books, even my book trophies, like off of Pango. I got the games Gods Play. I did buy it because I wanted the physical book just because it's pretty, and I have enjoyed what I've read so far. But I got hardcover, original with the sprayed edges, and signed for $50.
That's a good
Which is
bargain
not bad.
for a phone
And then
book.
I have the first book of the Inheritance games, which I got a Barnes & Noble special edition, like exclusive with sprayed edges, super cute. I got it for $3. I paid $8 in shipping.
You
Love
can
that.
also sometimes
recommend.
find the
crazy.
like the European or like the UK editions on there or like the Canadian editions because they do sometimes get slightly different cover versions than what we get. Sometimes I feel like the UK gets the prettier version and I hate it.
Facts. Also,
Well, I
thrift
will
books.
say,
Thrift books is great.
go to your local like small business, like indie bookshops, but also like be on the lookout for like any like book festivals in general because they had one over to some early spring, late spring. I don't know.
The
Sometime
LA
last
Book
year
Festival
here
is
where I
coming up,
live.
I think.
Yeah, they have one here where I live, and they always have like a panel
Yeah.
of like authors that you can like meet, or like they have like interviews,
Yeah.
or like Shout out to Friends to Lovers in Alexandria, Virginia. They always have something going on that they always like post up on their Instagrams. I'm a big fan of that bookstore, but like that's another like little goal where it's like me and like one of my girlfriends here home. We want to try like explore like different bookshops around here and just support. I mean, we love Barnes, of course, but we want to support small
And
business.
Barnes and Noble's the only thing keeping Amazon from taking over.
Exactly.
They just
Exactly.
closed ours. Yeah.
That's sad.
Rude.
Yeah. And then they
Actually
closed
breaks my
another
heart.
one near Rob and they moved it to a smaller location.
They did
Ugh.
that to the one that I used to love. It was in a really big location in a strip mall, and now it's in a different strip
Yeah, that's
mall,
what
and
they
it's
took out, our
smaller.
mall one.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, there is. I mean, I do technically have two Barnes and Nobles that are like more or less. It's like 10 miles versus 8 miles. So like they're equal-ish distance. The one that's technically closer is bigger. It's a 2-story one, but I, for some reason, get overwhelmed when I'm in it because it's so big.
How do you feel about the one at the Grove? It's 3 stories.
Yeah,
No, I mean, I live in Miami. There's bookstores everywhere, but it's just, I
true.
wish they wouldn't close.
Yeah.
Literally, the line for because it's closing, they do the big sale. The line
Yeah.
went from one store to 5 stores down outside the door.
Wow.
And all I could think was, where were you when they weren't gonna close it?
Uh-huh. Oh, girl, I'm literally making it. I just found out that a bookstore I love in Salem is closing and at the end of the month. So I am gonna try to get my ass over there so I can go see what they've got. But yeah,
And
I
it's
have a feeling
Borders.
it's gonna be the same thing where like they're gonna have a line out the door and it's gonna be like, where were you prior?
Yeah.
I do want to say, now that we are going into the new year, I do have plans on genres I would like to dive into. I am still in the F1 romance kick just because that's our book club. That's what we're going to be doing. But I would love to see a different F1 storyline. Like, I don't know, what if there was like a mystery or like an F1, like, I don't know, something different. Like, I love romance, but if something else
F1
came
fantasy.
here's a dragon coming down to take out Ferrari.
They can race on like witches' brooms.
Oh my god. Let's.
wait.
You know what?
Oh,
Let's
wait.
let's
That's
go
what I
off to
need.
They broke into the Alpine factory. Let's do a heist.
A heist. A heist where someone is trying to get the McLaren information so the other team can win. I need something different. I just think it'd be fun. So I would
Yeah.
like to dive into more mystery, I think, for 2026. I really
Yeah.
noticed I didn't read like any mystery this year. So if F1 can get into that too.
I can send
That'd
you
be
some
cool
murder
as hell.
mystery, Rex.
Oh, yeah, text me later, please.
When in doubt for murder mystery, do Agatha Christie.
Agatha
Classic,
Christie's
you
great.
can't beat it.
I was gonna say Miss Fisher's Murder Mysteries.
I will also take that.
There's a TV show version of it too, and they're really good.
So good. I'll send you. I'll send you.
Yeah, no, I can't wait for more F1 romances this year. Just because, again, I lean more towards like the romanticy side and everything. But I do want to see how like the story changes from like some of the series that we started off with this past year, and like how the storylines are gonna like grow from that, and then what other storylines are gonna be made from the new authors that we'll be diving into later on this year. But personally, I like want to get more into sport romances, but specifically just soccer because I like soccer the best. I'm not a big hockey person. I feel like that's been like the big thing. I know Anna Huang has her series, which I've started. I love the first book. I need to get on the second book soon, but I need more authors to get into writing other sports romances that are not hockey or F1.
Or football.
I would recommend Tessa Bailey. I just picked up a baseball one. That was the first
I
baseball
do
one I've
love
ever
me a
seen.
baseball romance. They're fun.
Rob
Yeah.
chose it. So.
Nice.
Okay.
Personally, really hope that 2026 is the era of more sports and cowboy romances. For anybody who's on the hunt for a really cute cowboy romance, I do have a little recommendation for you. May I suggest Cowboy Casual by Holly Renee? I really think that the start of 2026 for me is going to be potentially full of Holly Renee books after I finish my current read, and I'm not going to complain at all.
I am definitely excited for more F1 romances. There's also a couple of books coming out this year that are continuations of series that I've read that I'm really stoked for. One's hockey romance, and then it's continuation of technically a hockey romance series, but the book itself I don't think is really going to have anything to do with hockey. It's a long story. And then the other one is like a fantasy book. Please don't recommend any cowboy romances to me. It's not my vibe. I grew up in Texas, y'all. Sorry, I can't do it. I can't. I'm not sure how much I'll end up branching out this year just because I play it by ear. Like, again, I'm a vibes person, so it doesn't really, genre itself doesn't really matter as much to me if the vibes are good. So we'll see. Stay tuned, I guess.
So I'm gonna recommend you this cowboy romance. I'm kidding. I will say
I've done that to her a million times where I've been like, here's a cowboy romance for you. And she's like, Amy, what the fuck are you doing?
Please don't.
I will say for 2026, I'm mostly just excited for all of the new books coming out with the authors we've already worked with because they're continuations of all the books we read. Like we basically read the first book for a lot of series.
Yeah.
And now they're all starting.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see where they all end up going, especially the characters that they end up choosing. Because I'm pretty sure almost all of them are just different relationships in the same world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me freaking too. In particular, Simone, Mage, I forgot how it is, and Eliana's stories. I'm excited. Very excited.
I also cannot wait to see all of the new F1 romances from the authors that we have worked with last year. But I'm also super excited because a few days before we started recording this episode, we got news that we have a kind of new take on a F1 motorsports romance, and that is from Bridget L. Rose. It's going to be a F2 meets royalty romance, and I am personally very intrigued to see how that kind of pairing works out. As a girly whose first love was Regency and historical romances, I'm just super excited for it.
Super hyped for all of the books from the authors that we've worked with. I loved all of the books that we read this year. Cannot wait to read more, especially and I said this earlier, the Paddock Club's book from Madge, because again, the FMC is a fashion girly, and we love a good bit of revenge. I'm sad, y'all. She is me. I am her. Now, Chelsea mentioned this earlier, some like different F1 books. I don't know how we missed this or how we haven't talked about these yet. I saw a video from Zoe on TikTok. She's at NYC Book Co. And it's a list of all of the F1 romances coming out this year. Y'all, there is the Grid Fae series by Lilith Danville. It's literally F1 romantasy books. There's two out currently. The third one comes out in February. We have plenty of time to read the first two.
Oh,
I
dear
fear
God.
this series is a must for us.
Mhm.
I saw that and I immediately was like, I have to add this to my notes for today because how did we miss this? The first book has like 4.5 stars on Goodreads.
I think I follow Zoe online, and I know I'm in her Fable. She's got a Fable like book club for F1 romances, but I don't think I've been very active in it yet.
She posted this video back in December too. I don't know how. It's basically all of the ones that are currently announced that come out this year. I'll send it. And then Hannah Grace, who wrote Icebreaker, has an F1 romance book coming out called Champagne Problems. I'm intrigued. I enjoyed Icebreaker. I know it's like not everybody's favorite. I enjoyed it. I think it was my first like romance book that I actually read that was like a romance book. And then in July, again, it's a different style Formula One romance. It's called Formula Zero by Meredith Lanzin, which is like an interplanetary racing, which sounds really cool. I'm
dying.
Between that and the Grid Fae series,
It actually sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
So
is it weird? This kind of made me think of Xeon the Teenage Girl.
No.
I thought of
Xenon,
Star Wars.
the girl of the 21st century.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. I'm like, Formula Zero is giving, why is it giving pod racing?
It's giving pod racing.
It's giving pod racing, yes.
It's giving pod racing.
But thank you, Zoe, at NYC Book Co on TikTok. I I'm so glad I saw that before we started recording. And then I'm looking forward to Elle Kennedy's new book coming out in March, and Hannah Nicole Mayer has a book coming out in August. Both of those are continuations of series that I'm stoked for.
Honestly, this is a really good list of books, and I will work diligently to our listeners to put all these links in the bottom. So I'll work on that for you guys. Maybe make a blog out of it just for links. This blog is only for links.
Blog,
Literally.
a link blog.
But I think with 2026, we should all sit here. What is our challenge for reading? Because honestly, mine is I just want to finish my Goodreads challenge because I've sucked at doing it 2 years in a row.
Valid.
That is my
Listen,
challenge.
as long as you read a book, you're reading like I forgot how much like more like than half the country does.
Yes,
But,
literally.
Literary crisis.
Lit-
This is what I was talking about.
Again, yeah, no,
Read them however you
literally.
want.
literally.
We stopped teaching phonics. That's like the main problem.
Yeah.
We started
we
teaching
need
with
to get hooked on
memorization. We
phonics.
stopped. Bring back the leap pads, y'all. Bring back the
Bring
leap
back
on
pads.
Hooked on Phonics.
Yeah, I have a goal of 50 books. I did 45 this past year and I beat it. I did 55 total, so I'll probably beat it again, but I just don't want to like set myself too high because then I'm gonna be like, oh my God, like I have to like finish it. But besides the point, I do want to read like from my physical TBR because the way I collect books is completely diabolical. My lovely fiance would be saying the same thing. And I just need to hit those first before actually buying more books and when I have more room. But I also just want to use my Kindle more often. Just trying to be like more eco-friendly minded. I don't know. Have what you will, but just like, just use my Kindle more because it's an expensive device that was gifted to me. So
You didn't
might as well
invest
use
in
it. Yeah.
I have two like really big goals for the year. The first one is to actually be more critical and to stop being so afraid to DNF a book if I don't like it, because I will bully myself into finishing a book, and I really need to not do that because I then get in a reading slump because I read a book that I didn't really enjoy, and then I'm in a little funk, and I just need to, like, if I don't like it, I don't like it, and I don't finish it. It's okay. My second is to get through all of the Kindle Unlimited books that I currently have downloaded onto my Kindle before I go and download more. Because
They give
I'm
you
really bad
limit of
about
20.
doing that. And so, oh yeah, I have 20 on there, but I've had some that have been sitting on in my Kindle since before I had a physical Kindle, but I've had them like on loan since like 2022. And I'm like, I need to just either read you or just take you off because I'm not going to get to it.
It's just so many books.
Mhm.
Too many.
Main goal is to finish my Fable challenge this year. I did 52 books. It's one a week. I think it's very doable for me. I will say I think I completed my Fable challenge from last year. I just also my other like goal is to actually log what I read because I will read something and I'll keep reading, like if it's an interconnected series, I'll read all of them and I'll forget to log them and it just gets lost.
Yeah.
I am also with Mel and needing to read more from my physical TBR. I have so many books that are just sitting on my shelves that I haven't gotten to yet. And I think also I want to like try to finish those before I move so that if I don't like any of them, I can get rid of them instead of packing them and taking them to a new place.
Yeah.
Big facts.
So
Let's wait.
fingers crossed I can actually like at least get some of those out of here. But
I think you'll do fine. I hate saying goodbye to books though. I always end up just giving it to someone.
I did that. I did that with some like duplicates. I also have a really bad habit that I need to stop buying like duplicates of books because the author will come into town,
I've
and
done
when
that.
when a lot of authors come to LA, they go to different Barnes and Nobles and they sign books, and I go to those and I buy them. So I have a lot of books. I gave a bunch to my friend. I took them home for her, and gave her a bunch of the like duplicates that I have that aren't signed, just because I was like, "Do you want these?" And she was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Here you go."
I think giving books is a gift of love. In my
Yes.
opinion.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
And we hope you all felt the love in this very long episode where we just talked about books. Because we had a lot of love to give these books. But before we say goodbye, there is one more book we have to give love to, and this is a new book coming to our book club. Shout out to Amy for contacting and getting it done because, guys, we're going to be reading Lights Out. Her name is Avon Ellis, that is the author, and we're going to have a review for you very soon, like very soon. So stay tuned.
Besties, that's a wrap for us on our 2025 year in books, from PGP Book Club favorites to the reads that had us ignoring our TBRs and our responsibilities. Let's be really honest. As always, make sure you let us know what you read this year and what should make it to our list for 2026. Don't forget to follow us on socials, subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts, and leave us a review if you love the pod. It helps us more than you know. You can find us on socials at Paddock Girls Podcast. We are on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and YouTube. Next up, we are so excited to welcome a book club author, Amanda Weaver, for an interview you will not want to miss. Until then, thanks for hanging out with us, and we will see you on the next lap. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.